Hope you're keeping well. This week's newsletter, I've decided to come in and pop in and do some of the videoing in the studio. I've been downloading some of the new golf courses that we've got as part of our new upgrade on our Foresight sports equipment, so I'm really excited to use that when we get back. Also thought I'd run through a couple of things that we've been talking about in our Zoom chat groups, questions and messages I've had about various areas of the game. So I've got a short tip coming up later on in the newsletter. I've got some news on the shop as well, and some news on coaching diary, because I'm thinking forward and I'm getting requests already for people wanting to book golf lessons. We don't obviously have a date yet, but I'm thinking forward, so I'll be opening my diary up at a point in June for people to start making reservations there. Also, a quick catch up on a Zoom chat we had last week with the ladies group. We managed to get another European Tour player in. Great chat, really good insight, and I'll play some of that video later on in the newsletter. Tip of the week this week refers to how we hit the ground and controlling low point. I talked a couple of weeks ago about the pitching action and how we can do a couple of things with setup and action to help how we hit the ground. I've spoken to a few people again over the last couple of weeks in groups and individually, and some people have been having issues with hitting the ground or topping the golf ball when they're hitting a chip or even an iron shot. Now, one of the things we can do, if you haven't got a launch monitor at home to help you understand attack angle and knowing your numbers, one of the things you can start to do is utilise things at home and around the house. So using a towel, using a ball box, they're things that you can put in a position behind the golf ball to help control the delivery and get you into a position to strike down on the golf ball. Now, I've got a 7-iron in my hand here. If I'm on the fairway, I'm looking to make a descending blow so I can hit the right impact point of the golf ball, maximise collision and strike the ground just after the golf ball. Some people are having issues with maybe their low point kicking in a little bit too early. They might be unhinging the hands a little bit early. They might be slightly out of kilter with their body movement. There could be a number of reasons for that. But if you're at home now and you've got the opportunity to work on these things, start to grab a couple of things around the house that can maybe act as training aids. There are things on the market that can help you do it as well, but I'm going to show you now and set the camera up in a position where we can see how we can use these things around the house. So I've just grabbed the golf towel, I've placed the towel two balls away from the object ball, so there's a small gap there. It gives me a visual of a landing zone. I'm obviously trying to feel that the club is travelling down, missing the towel, connecting cleanly with the golf ball, and the low point is later and it's not hitting the golf towel. If our body is in a position where it slows down or our hands start to unwind, there's a lot of variables that could lead to this. The club may deliver and hit the towel behind the golf ball. In that scenario, you're obviously hitting the ground, you could potentially top the ball, the club face could deflect, and we lose power and contact on the club face and efficiency. So if we can, we want to try and develop movements, and you might feel pressure on one leg or the other, and just start to feel that you're making swings where you're avoiding that towel and getting a nice crisp connection. Now if you haven't got a towel, you might use a box, so putting a visual in like a ball box behind the object ball. You might have to put this a little bit further back because it's a bit more raised off the floor. Certainly I feel now with that in my eye line that I've got a sensation of the club coming more down, if you like, or not unwinding and clipping the ball box on the way through. So same thing again. And again you can hear how cleanly the golf ball is coming off the club face there. Give it a try, see how you get on. As usual, any questions, fire them over to us. So back to our conversation about the Zoom group chats we've been having. Been going really, really well. If you're not been on those, drop me an email, drop me a text. I can put you in one of the groups. We're kind of trying to meet regularly, at least every other week. I've got some groups that are weekly as well. Different topics of discussion, you know, things to do in lockdown, talking a little bit about areas of the game. We've had some special guests, as I've put in previous newsletters. Lucky enough this week, thank you to David Miller for setting this one up. Gabriella, Cowley, Ladies European Tour player, joined us, group of lady members, myself and Gabriella, and we had a fantastic chat. We were able to pick her brains about different areas of the game, gave us some great insights, great stories. Really good opportunity for everyone in the room there. And I think what's come across in the few chats that we've had with the European Tour players, how important a routine is. So obviously everyone at the minute has been struggling to get on the golf course. We don't have any access. So keeping yourself busy is really important. Coming up with a routine to work on your golf is crucial. And they're things you can be doing at home. So whether it's working on your chipping, whether it's working on a movement in your golf swing, videoing your swing and sending it to one of the team, it's really important that you're doing that now, so when you get back to the golf course, you're ready to go and you're not playing catch up. Let's jump into the interview and have a little look at what went on.
Yeah, go on, feel free.
How is your preparation different for like different types of golf courses like Parkland and Link?
I try and prepare every tournament the same in how many practice rounds I play, how in depth I play the practice rounds, what I would do on a Monday, Tuesday. So I don't really think that it changes much between different types of courses.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, a links course too, you're better off spending a bit more time on the wind, etc. And just trying to manage that as best as possible, because I'd say that's one of the variables that would probably save you a few shots.
Thanks.
How going on that? Sorry, Geraldine, go on, you jump in. Go on, sorry.
What would you say is the favourite course you've played on?
I'd say in general, Valderrama. It's a tough one, but it's one of the best. So I think that condition, course layout, is one of the best that I've played.
You didn't say Chigwell. I thought you were going to say Chigwell.
To finish off with for this week, other than my usual message of keeping safe and following all the guidelines and keeping an eye out to what the golf club is sending out to you, we'll all keep our fingers crossed that we're back on the golf course soon. We've been working behind the scenes in the pro shop to try and make sure that we're ready to go on the way back and the return to the golf course. A couple of things to draw your attention to. I'm setting a date of early June for coaching, so I'm going to be opening my online diary up very shortly. I've had lots of requests, people wanting to get back to their golf, work on their golf, so they're prepped for when they return. I can see that filling quite quickly. There's been a bit of demand there. Thank you to everyone for the emails and the messages. It's been brilliant. I've started penciling some people in provisionally, but those dates are going to be coming out very shortly, so keep an eye out in my online calendar. There'll be a link to that in the newsletter, and I'll update those dates. We're also looking at the retail side and the golf shop. Obviously, nothing's been happening in the golf shop. Everything's been brought to a standstill, like every business up and down the country. We've obviously had to take stock in. Some of the suppliers have taken the stock back. Some of it we've had to keep hold of and work things out with suppliers. So it's been quite tricky, like many businesses. But we've decided to try and launch a promotion this week, so starting in May, where we're going to be utilising shop credit. Now, you're able to come into store or contact me, and you'll be able to top your account up. And whatever you top your account up with, and we're starting this at a £50 minimum, we'll give you 10% in addition to that on your shop credit. So come in and top up £50, you're going to get £55 in-store credit. If you're thinking about buying maybe a new putter, you might take advantage of that and get the additional top up to reflect some discount on the putter. The reason we're doing it is obviously to drive some business and help us out a little bit, but we're also doing it for another reason where we're looking forward to how we're going to be able to retail on a day-to-day basis. I can see that we're going to have limited opportunity to take cash and deal with customers on as personal a level as we did before, and we'll be able to take touch point or card payments, but I think the ability for a member benefit to have their account running and to be able to take goods and put it on account obviously minimises the amount of contact and touch points that we're going to have to put in place. So it's going to be something that we're going to put in to not just sort of safeguard members as well, but safeguard the team, and so we can follow as many guidelines as possible. So if you're interested in topping up your account and being prepared for when we come back, contact me on the contact information at the end of the newsletter. And as I said before, keep safe, keep well, and I'll see you all soon.